And folks, it looks like we are finally able to go live here tonight. This is awesome. So here we are at lap 41 of 134, and we apologize for that technical difficulty of the first 40 laps not being live. They are recorded and they have been pre-recorded, and we will try to get those to you after the race tonight. But as we speak right now, it is Jim Johnson still in the lead, but on the outside is Johnny Taylor trying to make a move, and he moves to the inside. Can he cross over? And he will cross over. Johnny Taylor takes it away from Jim Johnson. What an exciting move that was. But Jim Johnson hasn't given up. He's right there, right on the bumper of Johnny Taylor. That Chevy in the lead, followed by that Toyota and then a Ford. Top three are all Chevy, Toyota, Ford, then a Chevy for your fourth position. Folks, this is one heck of a race. What's amazing is that we're not having more cautions. The racing is tight, it's so good, it's close, and just imagine how hard these guys are driving with white knuckles, elbows out, doing everything they can. These are wheelmen. They want to win, each and every one of them. Second place isn't good enough. First place isn't good enough. But look who's in first place now. Johnny Taylor. The 88 car moves into first place, followed by Jim Johnson in 92 now. Third place is Justin Cope. Look into the middle of our field. There's Jacob Smetana. Go a little bit back. We see Jason Crumley. Pete Smetana. Trying to not go a lap down. That 25 car. Johnny Taylor and Jim Johnson. It's frustrating. You think you have a fast car and then you have leaders passing you. You're going a lap down. There may be damage, I don't know, or it could have just been a bad adjustment. Sometimes when you go to adjust these trucks, if you make too much of an adjustment, it can really hinder the driving capability of the truck. Either too loose or too tight. If you're too tight, the front end wants to push, and what I mean by that is your right front tire will wear out. If your right front tire wears out, it's really difficult to get around any racetrack. So you want to use that right rear tire as much as possible, that to help you turn. By using the throttle coming on and off, you can help the truck come around the corner. As you can see right now, Jim Johnson in that 92 machine is doing just that. He's a little bit loose in the corners, but that's actually helping him stay fast throughout. As you see the rear end just kind of get a little bit loose as he comes through the corner. That's helping him turn and stay fast. But up front still is Johnny Taylor, 88 machine. The 92 of Jim Johnson a second, 59 of Justin Cope third. Fourth is your 17 machine of Brian Wiggins. Fifth is the 32 of Jacob Smetana. James Babb now is in seventh place. Eighth is Jason Crumley. Ninth is Cody Hassler. 10th is Anthony Promoda. Peter Smetana, Stoney Benfield, Dylan Smith are all down at least a lap. And Kenneth Colson we're calling out also. Dylan Smith is out as well. Smetana and Benfield are only one lap down at this moment if they can get themselves going. one of them might be able to get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. It's never too late to be called out of this race. All it takes is a little bit of luck, a lucky dog, you can be back on the lead lap, fighting for a position, fighting for a victory. Right now it's Johnny Taylor all by himself up front with Jim Johnson in second place, Justin Cope a little ways back in third position. If we want to go back to Max Sicosi, we see him back here in sixth place. Brian Wiggins in front of him. That's your top five right there. Anthony Promoda in ninth. And behind him is Corey Hassler in 10th. Peter Smetana behind him, fighting for that 10th position. Up front, though, is Johnny Taylor, followed now a little bit closer by Jim Johnson. The gap has gone down to about 0.4 of a second. So we've got some really good racing going on here. Go through the field and look at these cars. There's the 32 of Jacob Smetana in fourth place. There's your fifth place machine, Brian Wiggins. Sixth is your 51 machine of Mark Sicosi. Seventh is that 9 machine of Jason Crumley. There's that 44 machine of James Babb now. Ninth, Anthony Promoda. Those are your lead lap vehicles. That is a sharp looking car. Truck, sorry. I should have to put $1 in every time I call something that it's not. I wouldn't get, I'd owe money if I had to do that. There's your front two. There's your fight for third position between Justin Cope and Jacob Smetana. Justin Cope has it. The 32 machine wants it. There he is on the inside. Is he going to hold it? He's got a little loose there. No, he does not take it. Look at that. What a view, folks. That 59 continues to stay out front. Justin Cope stays out front of Jacob Smetana. Jacob Smetana gets into the wall. What a view there. Well, that was really a good something to see. It really was. For a while there, they were racing hard. Back up to the front with Johnny Taylor and Jim Johnston. Got to wonder, is Jim Johnston in that 92 machine, is he just kind of holding back, seeing what Johnny Taylor in the 88 has, or is he giving it all he's got? We're on lap 59. We should be coming down to our second stage break. Caution should be coming out here shortly. And there we are for our caution. We're going to take about 2 minutes under this caution for a station break. You're watching the Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm broadcaster Barry Stevens. And we're back from that broadcasting network vacation. You're watching the NSR National Sim Racing League Camping World 200. This is week 4 at Chicagoland Speedway, a total of 134 laps. We just finished our stage break. Cars have come in, made changes to whatever they need to make changes to, have gotten 4 fresh tires and fuel, and they're ready to come back out onto the racetrack and do some racing. They will have to stop again one more time, at least, for fuel and tires. They're not going to be able to go the rest of the way. But Johnny Taylor does lead them out. Jim Johnson second. Third is Justin Cope, Jacob Smetana, Mark Sikosi, Brian Wiggins, Stoney Benfield, and James Babb is in your 8th position. As I said, you're watching the National Sim Racing League, Week 4, Chicagoland Speedway. 1.5 mile track, 78 degrees currently, with 22% humidity, partly cloudy, 3 miles an hour. This broadcast is brought to you by Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm broadcaster Barry Stevens. We know you have a choice for what you do on your Saturday nights, and we thank you for being with the National Sim Racing League and Fearless Broadcasting. Showing you a great race tonight, lots of action, and safe driving, good driving. So we hope to keep this up for the rest of this race, the second half. Got lots of good racing to go. So it looks like we're down to about 11 cars, maybe 12 cars that are still in it. Showing 3 cars out. There's the pace car off, and we are going racing. There we are. Johnny Taylor takes him on the inside for the lead. Jim Johnson is on the outside in second place. Coming to turn 1. Johnny Taylor will keep the turn. On the inside, though, as Justin Cope moves in on Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson holds second place, but Justin Cope's on the inside and has position for the curve on turn 3. But no, Jim Johnson will take that and keep it second place. So your Johnny Taylor, Jim Johnson, Justin Cope are your top 3, followed by Jacob Smetana, Mark Sikosi. Brian Wiggins is your top 6. James Babb, Anthony Promoda, Stoney Benfield, and 10th is Jason Crumley. Somebody just tapped the outside wall. When they race here, folks, there's very little room for error. The margin for error is so small. That outside wall comes up so quickly as you come out of the corner that let the truck ride up to keep those tires cool. You move right on up to that wall real quick. Then as you come into the corners, you're hitting the apex. The apex of the corner is the fastest part of the corner, and that's where you want to hit it. These guys know that. Jim Johnson's now up in the first place. Johnny Taylor has moved back into second place. Third is now Jacob Smetana. Jim Johnson's always been fast on these restarts. He's got a fast car. Does he have enough in him to keep it going for the long run, though? Because we've seen Johnny Taylor's car, and he's got a fast car. That 32 of Jacob Smetana is coming out from nowhere, moving all the way up into third place. He's in the draft of Johnny Taylor now. Behind him is James Babb and Justin Cope fighting for fourth position, and Mark Sikosi and Brian Wiggins fighting for fifth position. Jim Johnson looking sharp. That matte black Toyota. Three wide, going for fourth position there. And coming out of fourth will be James Babb, will hold it all to himself. Fifth place is Brian Wiggins, who drops to the bottom to get in the line. Hoping to get some of this draft and pull him forward. But still up front, Jim Johnson is your leader. Mark Sikosi, Justin Cope are fighting for position. In sixth position. Brian Wiggins in front of them in the 17 machine is fighting for fourth position with James Babb. Oh, the 17 and the 44 get into it. 17 gets a little bit of a wiggle, but he will take the position away from James Babb. So, Brian Wiggins moves up into fourth, but James Babb's on the outside. He'll trying to move down to the inside, trying to make that pass crossover. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Folks, there's no real need to race too hard right now. We're at lap 73. We still have quite a few to go to 134 laps. Lead up front's gotten a little bit closer. Jim Johnson still leads, but second place is Johnny Taylor, followed very closely by Jacob Smetana. Jacob Smetana in that 32 Chevy is looking like he's in a position to close in and make the pass. So far, nothing's happened there. The front three remain 1, 2, 3. And behind them are some battles for position. Fourth position remains alone to Brian Wiggins. Behind that is James Babb alone in 5th place, and then you have a fight with Mark Sikosi and Justin Cope. You see them right here battling it out for position. That's for 6th place. That's the 51 and the 59. Up front, Johnny Taylor in 2nd position. Jacob Spintana in 3rd place, looking for that 2nd place position. Jim Johnson still out front, hopefully saving what he's got as these guys race it out behind him. Now, folks, when you have a couple of cars racing for position, what happens is they actually both start to slow down, allowing the car in front of them to pull away, allowing the cars behind them to catch them. Of course, you have to race for position, but that's what happens when you're racing for position. You tend to allow the car in front of you to get away and the cars behind you to catch up. We're at lap 78 of 134. Look at that top 3, real close now. It's anybody's race. On the inside is Jacob Spintana trying to make that move for 2nd place. Can he make it stick on the bottom? Johnny Taylor on the outside. Johnny Taylor has the momentum, keeps it behind Jim Johnston, and that'll force Jacob Spintana to pull into 3rd. But he goes back down to the bottom to try it again. He's not going to have enough. Johnny Taylor on the outside. That move seems to have been working for him. But now you have Jacob Spintana trying to get some draft coming from Jim Johnson as when he comes on the bottom. Now he goes to the bottom on his own, trying to make something happen. He's side by side with Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor still has it. Jacob is just right there on his quarter panel. Working hard. He's now bounced a little bit up into 2nd place, but can he hold it? I don't think he's going to be able to hold it. Looks like Johnny Taylor is going to hold that position. And we've got a caution. Looks like Anthony Promoda. Let's see if we can see what happened. Ah, yep. Let's look at it from Brian Wiggins' point of view. Looks like the two of them got into a little bit of something they didn't want to get into, huh? So we'll see what the field decides to do. We are on lap 82. Tires are almost going to be a necessity. I think the leaders are probably going to all come down. We do see some cars that have some severe damage. Promoda and Wiggins both have severe damage to their race trucks. We'll see what happens with the leaders here, though. As I figured, all of your leaders, in fact the entire field, is going to come in, top off for fuel, put on some fresh tires, Just going to see who comes out first and who does what kind of strategy. Do we have any two-tire takers? Nope. Looks like Jim Johnson will come out first. Jacob Smetana does something to end up coming out second. So there's a switch right there. He gained a spot in the pits, and third now is Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor may have been working on his truck to just get some things changed to make it a little faster. Not quite sure what made him be a little bit slower going into coming out of the pits. But nonetheless, third place is not a bad place to come out at all. Now, they're showing the 32 car. Not exactly sure what happened here. Maybe we had an end of line penalty. Boy, that would be really, really hard. So Jacob Smetana is in the lead. Second now is Johnny Taylor. Mark Sikosi is in third. Fourth is James Babb. Fifth is Jason Crumley. Jim Johnston is in sixth place. Followed by Justin Cope, Stoney Benfield, Peter Smetana. So, Jim Johnson must have gotten an end-of-line penalty. He must have been speeding in pits. It's the only thing I can think of. Starting at the end of the line. So right now, we have 9 cars, it looks like, on the track. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go racing as Jacob Smetana brings him down for the first time tonight. He leads Jacob Smetana, followed by Mark Sikora and Johnny Taylor, side by side. Mark Sikosi on the inside moves up into second place. Third place is Johnny Taylor in the 88 on the outside. Down below is James Babb running for fourth. Johnny Taylor and Mark Sikosi fighting for second place. First place is Jacob Smetana, but he's looking onto the outside is Johnny Taylor looking for a pass. Johnny Taylor has the pass on the outside over Jacob Smetana. 32 moves into second place. You have a fight for third place between James Babb and Mark Sikosi. And James Babb will now take third over all by himself. So you have Johnny Taylor, Jacob Smetana, and James Babb. Your fourth and fifth is Justin Cope and Mark Sikosi now. This is the sound of those trucks as they come by. Nice to hear them. Folks, it's great to see Johnny Taylor in the lead, Jacob Smetana in second, James Babb in third, Justin Copes in fourth, followed by Mark Sikosi in your fifth place spot. We're on lap 90 of 134 here at the NSR National Sim Racing League. Week 4 Camping World 200 at Chicagoland Speedway. Total of 134 laps here tonight. There's your first two. Johnny Taylor and Jacob Smetana. That 32 is right on the bumper of Johnny Taylor. Two Chevys, followed by a Toyota. Fourth place is a Ford, and fifth place is a Chevy. We have a pretty good representation of all the leaders. First and second are Chevys, third is a Toyota, fourth is a Ford. Then two Chevys, a Ford, a Toyota, a Chevy, a Toyota, a Chevy, a Ford, and two Chevys. You see the field come around the corner, through the turn. Into turn 3. Out of 4. And across the line, we are on lap 93, folks. Jacob Smetana is right on the tail of Johnny Taylor. Within the next just few laps, if he can keep this up, it looks like he may be able to make this pass. The field behind him is not spread out, but they are in line, and doesn't look like anybody's in a real position to pass. But up at the front, between first and second, we have our battle right now. Look at Jacob Smetana trying to get to the inside if he can of Johnny Taylor, and he's not going to be able to do that. On the outside, Johnny Taylor. Jacob Smetana on the inside. Doesn't make it happen. That outside line is strong. Jacob Smetana is doing everything he can in that truck to get faster. Sometimes, folks, all you can do, oh, there he goes onto the bottom again, just cannot make it stick down on the bottom to make that pass. There's just not a lot left in these tires to make this happen. We're 4 laps away from 100, and then we'll be to 34 laps after that. So 38 to go now. Oh, it's so close. Is he going to be able to make it happen on one of these times? It looks to me like Johnny Taylor staying up high just keeps the momentum. And Jacob Smetana on the bottom has got what he needs to make it happen, but those tires just aren't enough to keep him down there with the momentum that Johnny's getting on the top side. Let's see if maybe he can make it happen this time. No. It's just too tough. That outside line is the line to be in. Jacob Smetana is probably going to have to go right behind him, cool down those tires some. Doesn't look like fighting him on the bottom is going to be the way to go. Looks like he's going to want to be maybe right up underneath him until he can get somewhere and get a pass going. He needs that momentum first, though. Getting the draft of that Johnny Taylor 88 machine, then suck around, go for that pass, go down below, and then slide job right up in front of him if you can. But right now, Johnny Taylor is looking very strong. Doesn't look like anybody's going to get by him. Justin Cope has fallen back in third position. On the inside again, he tries. You got to wonder if either one of these cars are wearing their stuff out, or both of them wearing their stuff out, trying to stay in the lead. We're on lap 100, folks, of 134, so 34 to go now. Now Jacob Smetana's moved back just a hair. He's still well within the draft. Let's see what we got going on back here a little farther. Everybody's pretty much in line. Jacob Smetana still trying on the bottom to get past Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor not having any of it. Now when you go down to the bottom there, underneath the racing surface, that is allowable. You're allowed to go down there, but it does wear the tires a lot more. It is quicker, but the tires definitely take a little bit of a beating being down there. Jacob is doing everything he can to get in front of Taylor. Just doesn't seem to have it. He's trying every single lap to make that work. I don't think he's got it. I'm not the driver though. Really needs to stay up high, conserve some of his tires, ride behind him, make a move when he's just right on his bumper. Johnny Taylor not having any of it, staying out front. But he can't shake Jacob Smetana in second place. If he were to hit that wall up high, I guarantee you Jacob Smetana would go past him. Got a very good run off the top that time. This is where the action seems to be, folks, right here. Doing his best. And here's your fight for third place. Justin Cope, Mark Sikosi right behind him, and right behind him is James Babb. They're all fighting for third position, but your fight for first is right up here. Just cannot seem to get enough. That nitro machine is just hooked up tonight. That Premier Racing 32 machine, look at how loose he is coming through the corner. He's doing everything he can on the bottom. Looks like he gets a nose out in front of the 88 there, but the 88 gets the run down the straightaway, and there's nothing that the 32 can do about it. .32 is extremely loose fighting that truck, trying to keep it up. Wearing out that right rear, that's for sure. See that 88? Get a little squirrely on top. He's loose also. Riding along the top will tend to give you a loose condition because you're going a little bit faster along the outside of the track than you are on the inside of the track. Inside of the track, of course, is the shortest way around, so it seems like it should be faster, but you carry more speed along the outside here. And there you can see from the view of the blimp, there's nobody else even in the picture. Just these two battling it out. Now the 32 did get a good, decent run there, but it's not enough. That 88 is just all over him. Justin Cope's come in. This probably is his green flag pit stop. Looks like they're all going to have to make one unless the caution flag comes out. There's the 92 of Jim Johnson in third place. Back up front, Johnny Taylor, Jacob Smetana. Peter Smetana comes down and he'll take his 4 fresh Goodyears and Sunoco Racing Fuel. Gotta wonder when these guys up front are going to come in. Johnny Taylor and Jacob Smetana. They're still your leaders. They've built up quite a bit of a gap on the drivers behind them, so they can afford to go a little bit farther on their fuel than maybe some of the other guys who are losing time because they don't have tires and all. Here up front, because of the gap and the distance between even third place, there's really not any reason to be hurried to come into pits. You can stay out a little bit, hope for a caution. Come in under a caution, then you don't have any worries at all. You're not going to lose a lap. You stay right where you were in first place or second place. You come in and there's a caution while you're inside, though, you're going to end up probably a lap down. So these guys want to stay out as long as they can, as long as they don't lose any positions. And we have most of the field now is a lap down because they've made their green flag stops. We're waiting for the top 4 to make their stops, and they have not made it. Johnny Taylor, Jacob Smetana, Jim Johnson, and Stoney Benfield are all still out on the track. There's your third place of Jim Johnson. And there's Stoney Benfield. And it looks like we have Jacob Smetana's coming in. That's going to probably bring Johnny Taylor around this next time to come in. Let's see what he does. He cannot afford to stay out with Jacob in the pits because Jacob Smetana will have fresh tires. So he's going to have to really think hard about coming in now. Let's see what he does. And it looks like he's going to come down just like we thought in a pit road. Looked like he might have carried a little extra speed down pit road. Hopefully not. If he did, he'll get an end of line penalty, and that will just ruin his whole day, his whole evening. So we're seeing everybody get their laps back. Jim Johnson in the 92. Looked like he wanted to come in that time and did not. Not sure what happened there. Second place is Stoney Benfield. Third place is James Babb. Fourth place is Justin Cope. Jacob Smetana is now back in sixth place, followed by Johnny Taylor in seventh. So your old leaders are now find themselves in sixth and seventh. Let's see what they can do to get back up into the front. That's second place, and there's first place. Gap is 9 seconds as Stoney Benfield is now coming to the pits. Second place is now Justin Cope, who is 13 seconds behind. So let's see what Jim Johnson decides to do. Looks like he's going to stay out. So he must be gambling that there's going to be a caution come out, because these cars are going to catch him really fast. Johnny Taylor just did the fastest lap of the race that time. He's moved up into fourth position now in the 88 machine. Jacob Smetana has moved up into third in front of him, though. As they get by Justin Cope in the 59, that's Jacob Smetana that does that. Following Justin Cope is Johnny Taylor, who's going to the inside and will make the pass. So Jacob is now second place. Third place is Johnny Taylor. Jim Johnson way out in front is your leader. Over 9 seconds. The lead has dropped very drastically. Smetana and Taylor are catching him very fast. He's going to need to come in. Not sure why he decided to stay out as late as he did. He just does not have the speed at all. The gap is now down to 7 seconds. At one point was over 13 seconds. Down to 6.5 second gap now. They are really moving. Not sure what the plan is for Jim Johnson in the 92, but his crew chief's got to be talking to him, screaming, "We need to come in." Johnny Taylor's moved into second place. He's only 5 seconds back now. There's a battle between Johnny Taylor or Jacob Smetana for second place. And they are catching the leader very quickly. The gap now is only less than 4.5 seconds. What I don't understand is Jim Johnson was fast today. He was doing great. I'm not sure why he stayed out when everybody else came into pit. I guess it could be a strategy. It would put everybody behind him if a caution were to come out. But shy of that, I think he's about to, in 2.5 seconds, see the field. Now, he'll be the first car a lap down, so he will be in a position for the lucky dog. But we have other cars, I think, that are a lap down that have fresher tires. So if they get by him, then he won't be in place for that lucky dog. So the gap now is down to 1.3 seconds back to Johnny Taylor. Now they're both in the same frame. You can see first, second, and third. Jacob Smetana in third. First is Jim Johnson, Johnny Taylor in second. And there we go. There's our lead change. Johnny Taylor takes over for Jim Johnston, who is now in second place. Jacob Smetana in third place. Should be catching Jim Johnson very shortly. But in the lead, and by quite a distance now, is Johnny Taylor. He just moved right around Jim Johnson like he wasn't there. And there goes Jacob Smetana doing the exact same thing. On the bottom, no less. Shows you the tires that Jim Johnson has. There's nothing he could do about that. Just move out of the way. Let that 32 machine go on by. So there's your 88. There's your 32. Trying to catch up. He finds himself currently in second place. Falling behind now is Jim Johnson, then Justin Cope, Mark Sikosi, James Babb, and seventh on the lead lap is Jason Crumley. There's your third place car, Jim Johnson. He's still there. He's losing drastically to Justin Cope, who's now under 3 seconds behind him and catching quickly. There's the 59 Ford of Justin Cope. So you can see Jacob Smetana behind him, but we are at the end here. Lap 134 of lap 134, white flag. Doesn't look like anybody's got anything for Johnny Taylor. Not tonight. Johnny Taylor will take the victory. Johnny Taylor, Jacob Smetana, Justin Cope, Mark Sikosi, James Babb, Jim Johnson, and Jason Crumley are your top 7. 8th was Stoney Benfield, and 9th was Peter Smetana. What a race we had here, folks. Johnny Taylor put on an actual clinic. That was amazing. Such a good deal. We're going to speak to two of our top 3, Justin Cope and Johnny Taylor, in just a moment when we can get them into the post-race interview booth. But what a race we had. National Sim Racing League, NSR, folks. Every Saturday night, you don't want to miss it. This is the place you want to be. Find yourself on YouTube, look them up. This was week 4 of Camping World 200 at Chicagoland Speedway. Your first stage was stage 30. Second was lap 60. And our third stage final and winning was 134, with Johnny Taylor taking that victory. You can see him burning the tires down right now. So as we wait for Justin Cope to come up, we'll see if we can drag him up. Justin Cope, Barry Stevens in the broadcasting booth. You got me.
I got you, man.
Hey, Justin, third place tonight, a podium finish. Tell me about that. How'd it go?
It was fun, man. It was a blast. Good racing with everybody. I really enjoyed it. I got into Anthony. I got into Anthony on the pace lap. That was a error on my part, and then we had that little mix up between me, Wiggins, and Anthony. I don't know what happened there. I gotta go back and look at it, but I think them guys didn't get to finish the race. But as far as everybody else, man, is a great race. Racing everybody, had fun, and truck did pretty good. I mean, I have nothing for the top two, but
Yeah, do you think that were you able to, as the night went on, were you able to make changes that affected your truck in a positive way?
yeah, when after stage one, it was really loose towards the end of stage. So stage two, I tightened it up on exit just a hair, and it really bit me in the butt. I freaking laid over pretty much for everybody to pass me. I was so tight.
Yeah.
But I went back on that change, and it come out all right, back to where we were. But
Well, you can't complain with third place finish, Justin. Proud of you for that. Before I let you go, do you have anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
hey, man, just shout out to everybody that showed up tonight. The more people show up, the better it is. And appreciate you for putting on the broadcast. Looking forward to watching it.
Absolutely. We had some technical difficulties for the first 40 laps. The rest of it went live after that, but we did record the entire thing, so we have it all for you. But thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with us, Justin, and we hope to see you next week, and hopefully that you'll have at least as good of a run as you had tonight.
All right, man. Look forward to it. See you next week, I'm Barry.
You bet. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right, have you go.
Johnny Taylor, this is Barry Stevenson broadcast booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you, man.
How was that win? Tell me about it.
It was pretty fun. It's a pretty fun battle there with Jacob and some of the other guys. It was a pretty clean race. Shout out to Jacob for racing me as clean and respectable as he did. That was real fun there.
Yeah, I think the two of you we watched, and most of this race was just the two of you. There was some other racing back in the field, but either one of you guys, it seemed like could have taken this race. And when it went to long runs, it seemed like you moved up to the top line, and he was trying to pass you on the bottom. And it's really not a track that, unless you have real fresh rubber, that you can get it done on the bottom, because there's just so much momentum on top. Did you feel that momentum as you were racing him, knowing that he was trying to pass you on the bottom and you just needed to stay on top?
Yeah, we're racing C Open some this week. I've seen some tendencies. Some guys are better than others wrapping the bottom, and our stuff lacks a little bit of grip down there, and you can make it work if you're real disciplined and patient with it. But overall, I feel like I can't give up that right rear, man, and let somebody just side draft. And once they get to your right rear, it just gets you so tight there with no side force. So
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, do you got anybody you'd like to give some shout outs to?
shout out to y'all for broadcasting, and Mark and the boys for putting the league on and the work that they do, and everybody at Nitro for the work that they do.
Well, you had a rocket ship tonight, that's for sure. Are you ready for next week?
Next week it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to some plate racing. I think we go to Dega if I'm right. So
Yeah.
should be good. Just try to survive and be there at the end.
That's right. That's the whole key, is keep your car in one piece so you can be there at the end. All right, Johnny, I appreciate your time. I'm real proud of that run you had tonight, and let's keep that momentum going and see what you can do next week.
All right, bud. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you so much, Johnny Taylor. All right, race fans, that'll do it for us tonight. We were with NSR, National Sim Racing League. This was their week 4 of the Camping World 200 at Chicagoland Speedway. We had stage breaks at stage 30 and lap 60, and then our race finished at 134. Finished with Johnny Taylor in the lead. Second place was Jacob Smetana. Third was Justin Cope. Fourth was Mark Sikosi. Fifth was James Babb, followed by Jason Crumley. Seventh was Jim Johnston. Eighth and Stoney Benfield. Ninth, Peter Smetana. 10th was Anthony Promoda. 11th was Brian Wiggins. 12th was Corey Hassler. 13th was Dylan Smith. And 14th was Kenneth Colson.